everyone, this is Kosher Bacon. Welcome to Space Engineers Beta. Or just Space Engineers. Game's currently in beta. I saw a couple people play this on YouTube, thought it looked cool. The game has updated a ton since then, so there's tons of new content for me to explore. Yeah. I've already started a world. Don't care about this. And yeah, let's get to it. I'm in the crashed red ship preset. Alright, I don't like it when there's controls all over my HUD. Alright then. I was considering doing an Earth start, but that was kind of pretty laggy. The game is still pretty developmental. So, what was it, F5? No. F9 was quick save? F4? No, that's a screenshot. How do I... view, that's right. And then it was all... yeah. Alright, I'm remembering. Yeah, I remember now. So yeah, I'm a spaceman, and I'm in space, with space things. The point of this game is sort of to be Minecraft in space with physics. Got a jetpack, an omnidirectional jetpack. I can go up, down, left, right. I can spin. Oh yeah, if you suffer from like vertigo and stuff, avert your eyes. There is no up in space. There is no south in space. Yep. I have to get used to this, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah. Looks like someone, totally not me, crashed the ship here into this giant asteroid. I mean, like, look at all this space. And you crashed it? How do you do that? Alright. Well, looks like we've got to rebuild. Let's go take inventory, shall we? Alright, doors work. Oxygenation isn't enabled in this world, like you can't create a pressurized seal. So, you know, that's a thing. I'm a little concerned that I don't seem to... Is hydrogen and energy not enabled? Like, are the survival aspects of this world not enabled? Give me a second. Hold on a second. Let's just save that real quick. Main menu. Let me check something. I'm gonna stop doing that. So here, if we go edit settings, advanced. Where would it be? Enable oxygen, check. Enable hydrogen, right? I don't know, like... I don't know why I'm not seeing it then. Let's play. Okay, you know what? Screw it, I don't want to see that again. Okay, so we're back in our thing over here. Here's the med bay. Come on, HUD. Okay, that's where it is. Alright. No, I was just being dumb. Is there a chat button? I don't know. Check the lower left hand and the lower right hand corners of the screen. I was looking at the lower right hand, but that's ship settings. Lower left hand is my person. So we have some health, oxygen, suit power, and hydrogen. If we go to the med bay, it heals up health, it will provide oxygen, it will provide power. I think it can even provide hydrogen. So yeah, let's go take inventory. Whoa. Is the mouse inverted for ships? Alright. What was the button? K, maybe? So this is my inventory. I got a gun, a welder, a grinder, a hand drill, get some ammo for the gun, a hydrogen bottle, and an oxygen bottle. This is the ship. These are all the components of it. Production tabs, info, factions. Most of this I don't need to care about. Okay, so the big thing is control panel. Right now the ship is using up power, but if we look, we have a... not refinery, what's it called? Where's the reactor? Probably a large reactor? Yeah, we've got reactors 1 and 2. They are outputting 300 megawatts of power. And that power is being consumed. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, we have 130 days of this. Looks like only the front end of the ship was really damaged, so we're going to try and back it out, though. It looks like our starboard large thruster is still active. I'm playing with meteorites disabled because I don't think they add much to the game experience. That is very loud. Alright. Oh, this thing cannot turn for the life of it. Oh, this thing is big and heavy. Alright. And yeah, you can see as we're moving around the lower right-hand corner, the power is being consumed. So at idle, it will take 130 days for this to run out of fuel, but we're still active. Alright, cool. Let's go fill this back up and take a look at the extent of the damage. So we got power. No gravity, though. Like, if I jump, then I'm in the air. Except if I use my jetpack, which takes power. Next big thing, oxygen. I'm no good if I can't breathe, so let's go look at the oxygen generator. We got some hydrogen and oxygen bottles in here. If we feed this thing some form of, like, hydrogen or oxygen, like ice, if we can find ice in space, then it will provide us with oxygen. It will fill up bottles, it will fill up its internal reservoir. Alright, cool. So we've pulled away from the asteroid, let's go take a look. That is a military transporter, it's probably armed, so we're not going to bother them, and they'll probably leave us alone. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so the port side thruster. No, wait. Right is starboard, left is port. So the starboard forward-facing thruster has been completely destroyed. That'll have to be replaced. Looks like the landing gear is still intact. I don't know what this was supposed to look like beforehand, but I'm guessing all this stuff wasn't supposed to be... Oh, yeah, there's stuff in here. Yeah, we got some computers, some bulletproof glass. The refinery actually has some materials in this. This might have been a mining ship. Yeah, look at all these supplies. Assembler number 2 appears to be broken. And yeah, we've got about... I see. About 30 units of uranium for the reactors. So that will last us for a fair while. Anything else? The rear of the ship looks fine. Most of the thrusters are still good. We got a door over there. Here, I want to go get ourselves character tools. I want to go grab our rifle, put it on our bar. Got 300 shots with this thing, but hopefully we won't need to use it. So yeah, if we're going to repair this thing, we're going to need to produce like steel plates, that sort of thing. Because these take steel plates to weld together. I did boost up the welding, the refining, the grinding speeds, all of that, because this is an LP and I don't want it to take forever. Alright. Steel. That's just processed iron. And you know what I see? I see a metric buttload of iron. All this orange, red stuff? Yeah, it's red. That's iron. And I also saw this thing has a built-in ore detector. It's pretty sweet. This is ice. So we have all the oxygen we need, we have all the iron we'll need for a good while. The issue is going to be mining this stuff up. Like, we can apply the drill to it and mine it up, but that's kind of lossy. So we're going to want to make a mining ship. I've already lost the big red ship. It needs a beacon. Does it have a beacon? We might put a beacon on this so we don't lose it. Another thing I should probably do. Here, let's go back inside. Guess it doesn't matter if I leave the door open now. So yeah, not inventory. Yeah, inventory. So, do we have a beacon? We do not. We'll probably have to make one of them then, but that takes stuff. Alright, so we want to like produce stuff, right? It's like how do I explain this best? We need materials to build things. Hold on a second. Keep moving this thing around every time I press my motion keys. Let me do something here. Thrust. So I'm going to select all the thrusters here. I'm going to create a group and call it thrusters. I'm going to spell it with a capital TH. Save. Now, if I go to this group over here, I can turn them all off. Now if I press stuff, it doesn't matter what I do, although the gyroscope still allows me to move it around for whatever reason. So now this thing won't accidentally drift off into space, except that if something bumps it, then because the laws of inertia in space, it will. Like physics. For every action, there is an equal opposite reaction, right? So if I bump into this at a high enough speed, because of its mass, it might be hard to do it, but it will eventually happen. And because the thrusters are off, it will just careen off in the direction it was hit forever, until it encounters something that will prevent it from moving in that direction. And because we're in space, there's a good chance that will never happen. So we want to stick a beacon on this bad boy, because this is our life support, this is our everything. So I think that should be priority number 1. But again, in order to get a beacon, we're going to need to build a mining ship. Right now, I think we have enough resources in the cargo hold that we can probably get started on that. So, let's go start building, right? I realized I never set a timer for this episode, and to be fair, I'm not sure what I would do. Like for the time. I guess 30-minute episodes sound right, and we've been going for about 10, so let's call it 20 minutes. Okay, timer started. So we need light armor blocks. We're going to need a cockpit, and we're going to need a drill. We're going to need thrusters and a gyroscope, but for right now, just... Where is everything? Oh yeah, that's right. Thrust. Here's some thrusters. We need that drill. Okay, and I think we're going to need a reactor too, aren't we? We can probably disassemble one of the large shipboard reactors and use that instead. What was it? Control number to switch hotbars? Yeah, okay. Alright, let me get those keys off. So, yeah, we're just going to need resources to start building this stuff. So let's look in all our connected inventories. Can I move this stuff over? Yeah, there is a conveyor system. Cool. Got some iron, but the refinery is not set to run. Or maybe it's broken. Okay, so we need some steel plates. So we're just going to have to borrow some. Yeah. I'm concerned that because I don't have the schematics for the ship, I might just have to... Hello, buggy corners. Because I don't have the schematics for the ship, I might just have to trash the whole thing, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Survival is priority number 1, and I cannot grind this away for some reason. Okay, so the textures are a little funky. Now if we look at our inventory, we got 175 steel plates. So there are two types of ships in this game. Large ships, small ships. This is a large ship. Like, you can build a small ship that's bigger than your average large ship, but there's some differences. Small ships are typically, they cost less resources to make, and they have some blocks that they can only use and some blocks that they can't use. Alright, let's get ourselves down some stuff. It takes 25 steel blocks per thing, so I don't want to get anything fancy over here. Oh, you know what? I know why it takes 25, because this is a large ship. So here, we can use this for comparison. I did turn on unsupported station, so if I run into this thing... Ow, I gotta go to the med bay. But if I run into it, it's not gonna careen off in space. That will improve performance a bit, because if a ship crashes into anything, then... Well, not a ship, but if I'm building a platform or something, it should be much easier for it to... much easier on the game to calculate stuff. Because that's the big issue with this game. It has a lot of under the hood calculations that it does. Check out my magnet boots. It does a lot of under the hood calculations, and that's why it can be, not G. What was the switch thing? B? V? No. Scroll wheel? No. I don't remember how to play this game anymore. How do you toggle? There was a toggle button. I remember. F? No. Q? No, that's that. Sneak? No. I want to stand on this block I've made. Alright, controls. Grr, I was hoping not to have to constantly go into menus. That's the other thing too. No, I do not want to set everything to defaults, my bad. Block placement? Build mode, B, toggle. R, okay. So, it's not... Are you sure R isn't rotate, maybe? That's weird. It's gotta be under block placement, right? Build mode, B, rotate block, recolor block, I don't care about that so much, reset orientation, toggle symmetry, symmetry setup, place alignment, B. I really gotta configure some of these. Cube size toggle button. How is that not R? Maybe it's under miscellaneous? forget what I had this to. I played this game a million years ago. Maybe movement? Nah, can't be movement. I'm surprised. Voice chat. Oh, there's a voice chat. Chat screen is enter. Okay. Inventory is I. Respawn is backspace. So it's got to be under build place, block placement. Well, that's kind of dumb. Like, there's a control to change block size, but like, what? That makes no sense. Just, I'm pressing the hotbar key to change it. All right, whatever. Okay, so, this is the large ship, this is small ship size, to give you an idea of the different scale. This is 1, this is 25. Cool. Alrighty then, so let's go build out just a little bit. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh no, they are both. Okay, so I was mistaken. I thought that when I placed down that big armor block over there, that was a station. It wouldn't move, but no, it's just a regular ship type block, so it will move if I bump into it like you just saw over there. So until we can get a flight seat or a control thing down over here, we got to be careful not to bump into this, because once that's like that, we can tell it to, sorry, I keep going and stuff, I apologize. Once we get this thing set down over here, and we're going to need some stuff for that, but I'll explain in a minute. But once we get it done, we can switch it from a ship to a station, although not for small ships. And once we do that, we can tell it that it's a station, it won't move around if we bump into it. So, if you see that I'm looking at it, here, enter. Do I get a mouse? I do not like Minecraft, that's a shame. So if you look at this, you can see all the components you need to build it. And you see steel plate actually comes out twice. So first you need to provide 5 steel plates, then later on you can provide 5, or you can provide all 10 right at the beginning. We need construction components, motors, displays, computers, bulletproof glass, my goodness. Oh look, there's computers, construction, and bulletproof glass. And if we keep looking, oh look, here's some construction components. Let's take 25, because those things weigh a bit. We don't need metal grid, large steel tube, medical components, or small steel tubes. But we do need some other things, I think. Gotta be careful. Yeah, we need motors and displays. So how do we get motors and displays? Well, we go over to the production tab. And I grab assembler 2. No, assembler 1. Where are the assemblers located physically? I don't know if they're hooked up to the conveyor system. So, there is a system of conveyors, called the conveyor system. That's these things over here. Inventories connected by the conveyor system can share items. Plain and simple. So, this cargo container, I was able to pull stuff out of it through the conveyor system because the conveyor ended up over here. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff, but that's the basics of it. I think this is the refinery? Yeah. So what's up with the refinery? Why isn't it working? Is it disabled? Yeah, it was turned off, probably to conserve power. So now let's go look at our assembler. So is the assembler tier 1 on? Yeah, okay, so now if we go to production and we go to assembler 1, it probably needs materials, right? So it needs iron and nickel. So now we go in the refinery. Oh, there's some platinum. We have platinum? Had platinum. Here's a bunch of iron. And we want to tell it to do the nickel. So now let's go production. My bad, control panel. Refinery. Let's turn that on for a minute. It takes 560 kilowatts of power. And right now, I don't know how those upgrade module slots work, but they're a thing. So now if we look at inventory, this thing. Oh look, there's some nickel. So where is the assembler? Maybe we'll set up some conveyor belts. If I can figure out where it is physically located. I think it's over by that large cargo. Yep, there it is. These things. So there's a conveyor belt. I think we could probably plug it in, right? That's weird. Why isn't the assembler... Because here's the other one. This is the one that's broken. I'm confused why this one doesn't work. Like, if we tell it production, we tell it to make us some computers. Where are computers at? It doesn't grab the iron or silicon, probably because it's missing the silicon. So what happens if we tell it to make some steel plate? There's definitely steel plate in the refinery. Is the refinery not hooked up? And that's the issue. I mean, there should be a connector on the other side of it, assuming it's symmetrical, which it should be. Ooh, unknown signal. That could be something, but right now I'm focusing on this. Let's just carefully remove some armor to take a look at the machine, at the inner workings of this. So that's a conveyor tube. What's it hooked up to? That's the refinery I'm looking at. It doesn't look like... I don't know where the connector on this thing is located, though, is the issue. I think these are where those upgrade modules go. Yeah. Keep digging. Whoa. I could fit through this? Neat. Maybe. I don't know. I'm on the outside now. Like I said, if you get crazy vertigo or something, you're probably not going to be happy watching this. Alright, so that kind of sucks. I have an idea, though. It's kind of a bad idea, though, so we're going to go drop off some stuff before we do it. We're going to move the assembler and reassemble it. Alright, so if you see down by right above my hotbar, there's that backpack signal icon. That's how much my carry weight is. Right now my carry weight is pretty high because because I set it to be that high. And as I grind this thing up, you can see it starts to get worse. Well, worse, I say, but I mean higher. And higher. You know what, we'll take this conveyor too. I don't know if this one's hooked up to anything. Okay, so now we go G-assembler. And let's just remove this small reactor temporarily. Okay, so now we just gotta pop it on around here will work, but there's this catwalk in the way. Okay, now we gotta rotate the darn thing. And it doesn't matter which way we do it, so I'm just gonna do it like that. This welder is pretty bad, but we can construct a better one. Apologies if this is kind of loud, actually. A second. Sound, audio. Let's just lower this a bit, too. Wait, that probably didn't save, did it? Yep, you have to click apply. Alright, I can hear myself think again. So that bar over there is how close it is to being done. It's durability as well, so if I were to shoot it with my gun, the durability would go down and the components would be broken. You see the blue and red line, functional hack. If I grind down an enemy assembler, for example, then I can smelt it back up with the welder, and that's hacking it. Likewise, after a certain point it becomes functional. Typically, in order to hack something, it has to be functional already. So now, we have our assembler assembled, and we go to production, and we tell it we want some steel plates. It's on. It's using the conveyor system. Is the refinery? It's on. It's using the conveyor system. Does the... It has... Oh, it doesn't have iron in it. Okay. So now if we go here, then we go production, then we tell it make steel plate. What am I doing wrong here? I'm actually confused. There is iron in the refinery. The assembler is right over here. If we manually take the iron and we move it to... We can't manually take the iron and move it. Also, that's the large cargo container. I want the refinery iron. We can move it there. Okay. So logistically it doesn't work out for some reason, but technically it does. I don't know. Anyways, I don't care about that right now. I'll figure that out later when I build. So now you can see all these things are lit up because they're just iron. But we needed, what, computers for this cargo? Not cargo. We needed displays. 5 displays. So what does display take? It's like silicone, right? Go over here, production. We need displays. Yeah, silicone. So then, do we have silicone in here? We have some silicone. Let's move it over to the assembler. And we need 5 of these. That's 1, that's 2. Wasn't there a shift click was all or something? Okay, so now we go to the inventory and we can pull it from the assembler into our own. Okay, cool. So, platinum is pretty rare, right? And I'm thinking I might squander what I've already got to get a faster welder for the quality of life, but we'll see. Alright, we're going to want to drill. We need steel plates, construction components, large steel tubes, and computers. And I've already forgotten half of those things, but let's check the large cargo container, which might not be hooked up to the conveyor system, I don't know. Here's large steel tubes, here's iron, here's steel plates, here's computers, bulletproof glass, no, small steel tube, motor. Probably gonna need more of these things, but hey, now we've got some of them. We are missing 5 construction components, and I think that's just iron. Yeah, we're gonna need a ton of... Ooh, not 100, not 100. Okay, so control is 10, shift is 100. So we're gonna need construction components out the wazoo when it comes time for that, but for right now we'll be fine with this. Okay, so we got this thing over here. It has a drill on the front of it. I'm not gonna bother with a spotlight or an ore detector, this is gonna be as basic as they come. I want a gyroscope. In fact, I'm probably going to want 2 of them, but for right now we'll do 1. And we'll just stick it over here. I could have sworn R was rotate with these things. Also, is my inertia dampener not on? Here. Because it feels like I'm moving. Oh, the ship's moving. Lovely. Okay, there's your gyroscope. We need to get some thrusters on it. I bumped into it, I guess. And again, now that it's moving, this just got a bit more urgent, so let's just do this quickly. Thruster components are necessary for thrusters. Also, we're going to need reactor components too, but for right now, thruster components. If I grind down one of those, I'm going to get so much junk in my inventory. So production. What do thruster components take? They need cobalt, gold, and platinum. We don't have half of those things. Goodbye, inventory space. Okay, we have thruster components. Okay, so now we've got this, but it needs a reactor. A small ship reactor will do just fine. We just gotta stick it somewhere, and for right now I'm just gonna stick it over here. We need to leave one side open so we can interface with it. We need metal grid reactor components. Hopefully we have some of those in storage, otherwise I'm gonna have to grind down one of the reactors. Okay, here's metal grid. We only need like 10 of them. Okay, so production. Can we make reactor components? Where are they? I don't even know where they are. That's superconductor, thruster, reactor. They need silver and they need gravel, and I don't think we have either of those things. Every time without fail at this game. Man, I just want to make a simple mining ship so I can get started with this game, but nope, I gotta go turn off one of my reactors, I gotta go rip things to pieces. Alright, which one of them has the tons of... Okay, so the other one's with the one we're gonna rip apart. Run! The ship isn't getting any closer. Yep. And I miss my gravity generator. Okay, so first things first. Take up the reactor. Turn this thing off. Take out the uranium. Okay, we got some reactor components and our inventory is littered with junk. Where's the ship? There it is. Put in some uranium. Boom. I think it stopped moving. So, in order to take advantage of stuff, obviously, we're going to want thrusters in literally every direction. That's all 6 cardinal directions. So we've got left, right, we've got backward, forwards, we've got up, here's down. Now we just need backwards thrusters. Oh, there's the timer for the end of the episode. Let me just weld on this last thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to do time for... Ugh, we're missing a large steel tube. Are you kidding me? Here, let's go to the large cargo container to drop off our stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to do timing for episodes. Oh boy. Yeah, we're just going to be cannibalizing this ship to get stuff working. Let's go back to production and get ourselves... let's get 10 large steel tubes. Really? I'm right in the... Oh wait, this is the large cargo container. I have to say, I was right inside the assembler, but I wasn't. Oh boy. I think thruster damage is enabled. Yeah, I enabled it. So that thruster's gonna rip up our thing before we get a chance to use it. We need a rear-facing thruster somewhere. Sure. That probably won't rip up stuff too badly. Yeah, it's a thing. So now we've got the dumbest, ugliest basic ship you can imagine, but we do have it. And oh my goodness, this thing's reactor cannot provide enough power for it. You know what, our oxygen is kind of low, and it's the end of the episode, so I'm going to go fill back up, and next episode we'll get to mining. Once we get resource flow going, we can build a better miner to get better resources, so on and so forth. I'm not sure how long this series is going to last. Typically, with something like this, it's, roll. Do a barrel roll. With a series like this, there's a set of goals you can do, but I'll be honest, I've played this game before, so I know what I'm doing, for the most part. And I'm inside a block now, and I'm flying away from things, so maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, hey, let's go get the unknown signal before it disappears. I'll talk on the way. So, like, I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. And because of that, it might get a little boring for me, and I might not do much with this series beyond just basic stuffs. So the unknown signals typically have good things in them, but they disappear after a few minutes or the beacon dies, so I'm going to try and catch this one before it's too late. I'm currently traveling at 110 meters per second. So let me explain a couple game mechanics, or physics actually. I turned my inertia dampeners off. You can sort of see it in the lower left-hand corner, that red hazard sign. And look, we're about to whiz past this thing. Okay, turned them back on. Inertia dampener is basically if they see you're moving in a direction, they use your omnidirectional thruster thingies to move you away, or not move you away, to stop you moving by applying equal force in the other direction. Ships and players will have them. That's not it. Here it is. Ooh, enhanced angel, motors, some construction components. The reactor is this. Neat. And it's some useful scrap. So, because I wanted to travel somewhere, but I don't want to spend all my thrusters on power fighting the, I don't want to spend all my thruster power fighting the inertia dampeners, I turned them off, then I just pointed myself in a direction, fired the thrusters, and because there's no gravity acting upon me, once I reached a certain speed, I just stayed at that speed. In real life, I would keep picking up speed as I used my thrusters, my jetpack thrusters, but this game does have a speed limit of 110 meters per second. Ships can only go 100, that way if a player accidentally exits a ship at a high speed, they can get back onto it instead of watching it sail off into the sunset. Hey, you know what I didn't do? I didn't take note of where my coordinates are. I might be lost. No, that's fine. I should definitely put down some coordinates, though. And yeah, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, right now, if I constantly use my thrusters, I'm gonna run out of power in the jetpack. And the jetpack doesn't take power, it takes hydrogen. And I currently don't... Well, no, I've got the ice and the manual drill I could use. Speaking of which, let's go take that out. Character tools, grinder, enhanced drill. Yeah, you see it's blue, it's better. So yeah, you see moving in that basic direction. It's hard to course correct without the dampeners on, and of course if you bump into something with the dampeners off, then it probably hurts. Alright, neat. So yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.